Hello everybody, welcome to the section on volume for prisms and cylinders. The good thing about this section is we've got one formula that you're going to use and we're going to apply it to both the prisms and the cylinders. Volume in general is referring to the amount that you would use to fill a shape. So in the last section we talked about surface area, which was all the area of the outside of our 3D figures. Now we're going to be talking about the inside of the three-dimensional figures. And so the one formula we're going to use is V equals B times H. B is referring to the area of the base. So go ahead and write that down. So that formula is going to change depending on the shape of the base. And then H refers to the height of the prism, just like it was in our last unit. All right, so I've got an example here of a triangular prism, and we're going to go ahead and use this formula, fill in what we know, and then we'll have our volume. So let's go ahead and write down volume. In this case, because it is a triangular base, our B formula is going to be 1/2 BH, and then times the height of the prism. Now, if you notice here, we've got our triangle base. I've got the base of the triangle, but I don't know what the height is, so I need to calculate that first, and then all I'm going to have to do is plug into my formula. To find that height, we know that our hypotenuse is 15, because these bases across are the same. Base is 9, so I can use Pythagorean theorem, and I'd have x squared plus 9 squared equals 15 squared. Solve that, and I get x squared is equal to 144, and then square root both sides, and that cancels the square, and we get x is equal to 12. So now we know the height is 12, and I can plug everything into the formula. So when I plug this in, I get 1/2 times the base, which is 9, the height of the triangle, which is 12, and then the whole height of the prism. And remember, height of a prism goes from one base to the other, so that's here. That's going to be 10. And now it's just a matter of calculating in your calculator, multiplying it out, and dividing by 2. 9 times 12 times 10, that's going to be half of 1,080. So if we take half of 1,080, we get that the volume is 540. Now, the major difference in terms of units between volume and area was always the units squared. Volume, because we're taking up more space, we're talking about more three-dimensional, this is going to be in feet cubed. Right, because now we're talking about the area of the bottom, which is two-dimensional, times the height, which would make it the three-dimensional. All right, so the volume here, 540 feet cubed. The cylinder is going to be the same exact setup, except this time our formula for B is going to be with a circle instead of a triangle. So again, volume equals B times H. So in our circle, B's formula for area would be pi r squared and then times H. And we can just plug in what we know. We know that the radius is going to be half of 9 because 9 is the diameter, so that's going to be 4.5, and that's going to give us 4.5 squared. The height from circle to circle would be 5, and now we go ahead and we reduce. Now please make sure that you use PEMDAS, parentheses, then exponents, and then multiplication and division from there. So 4.5 squared gets us 20.25 times 5. You get that the volume is equal to 101.25 pi. That would be considered the exact answer because you've left it in terms of pi. If you get the rounded answer, so if you type pi into your calculator, you get that it's roughly 318.09, and this would be inches cubed. So either answer is acceptable. Just read your directions, make sure you see what they want you to round to, and then you can go from there. That's really it for this section. There's only one formula. You just have to know all your formulas for your different shapes back from unit 11 and 12, so that's going to be very important. I got an example here for you to try where you have a trapezoidal prism where you have bases that are trapezoids, so you can go ahead and try this one out on your own, and if you have any questions, let me know. But that's it for today. Thanks for listening.